Hey, what's up, best friends? It's Zac Grantham here, and on Sunday morning, as I'm waking up to get ready to go to church, I'm seeing all over the interweb the sweet moment that took place right here in the Katy Country listening area, right here in Texoma, with our very own Blake Shelton. Texoma's own Blake Shelton, as we like to call him on the Katy Country AM show. A very sweet moment of Blake Shelton bringing one of his biggest, littlest fans up on stage, and I'm very, very excited to have the mother of Wyatt joining me this morning. Harley, how are you?
I'm good.
Now, Harley, let's talk about this here. So, Wyatt is your kiddo,
Mhm.
and Wyatt is 6 years old. So, I'm assuming that Wyatt, y'all listen to Katy Country and you like to listen to Blake Shelton all the time and probably watch The Voice.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so kind of describe Wyatt's love for Mr. Blake Shelton.
It really came on surprisingly one day. He just started screaming that he wants to listen to God's Country, and then when we told him who sang it, and he fell in love with it, and he knows almost all the words. He walks around all the time just singing God's Country all the time.
That's awesome. And of course, yeah, we'll say Texoma is God's country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the music video was shot, I believe, in southern Oklahoma. So, yeah, in the Texoma area. All right, Harley. So, tell me about the evening itself. So, were y'all planning for a while to go to this concert? Y'all just saw that Blake was going to be playing in Durant. You just wanted to go?
Yeah, actually happened. His aunts always go to concerts all the time, and they were telling us that Blake Shelton was coming in. We looked at the tickets, and they were really pricey. So his aunt was talking to an employee that she works with, and I don't know his name, but he happened to wanted to buy Wyatt a ticket. So he bought Wyatt's ticket, and then it was just set that we were gonna go, and Wyatt was so excited because he asked all the time, "Can I get Blake Shelton's phone number? I need to call Blake Shelton." So
Wyatt,
he'll type it in his phone all the time and say, "God's Country."
Wyatt, the line forms to the left on wanting Blake Shelton's phone number. I'm in that line as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so this is Wyatt's mom, Harley, of course, the 6 year old that was up on stage with Blake Shelton this past weekend. So Harley, describe to the listeners what's going on in Wyatt's life. Now, you can give us as much info as you want. I know a lot of this is medical, so tell us exactly what is taking place with Wyatt.
Well, he was born with a condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. So the left side of his heart did not grow properly. Um, so he was supposed to get a series of 3 different surgeries. He received the first one when he was 5 days old, the second one when he was 6 months old, and then he should have received the third one when he was 3 years old. Um, we pushed it back a while, and then we found out in 2019 that he wasn't a candidate. His heart was just too sick to receive the third surgery and it be
Mm.
successful. So that's when the doctors decided to evaluate him for a transplant. And we've been lucky enough to be put on the transplant list in December of 2020. So we've been waiting a little over a year now, but um, he's so he does he's in a good position. There's a lot of other people out there that are living in the hospital because they're waiting on a transplant. So he's got a lot of energy, and the only put back about it is the IV, the long-term IV in his arm.
Yeah. Um, and yeah, so just hearing about that, and then being 6 years old. I mean, that's just, and of course, those 6 year olds, they're all just vibrant and all over the place. They're so resilient, especially when to us adults sometimes it's like, man, we need to have this like childlike faith because here's this 6 year old is just acting like none of this is phasing him.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. All right, what's the next step for Wyatt? He's on the transplant list. So is it what's the next step here? I mean, obviously getting a transplant, but do they just randomly call one day and say we're ready to
Just
go?
random. Yep, just a random call. It's just got to wait for the perfect heart to come around, and for some family to make the most amazing, hardest sacrifice and choice in their life. He's just in an awkward stage. He's really small, and so he can only have a certain age level. So it's just a waiting game.
Okay. Well, we'll be praying for you and your family that the perfect match comes along for Wyatt, so we can get him good to go and get this behind y'all, and y'all can move forward. Now, did you ever expect, Harley, that when you were going to the show on Saturday, what took place actually was going to happen?
No. I was hoping that maybe if we were lucky, he'd come by and shake his hand or say hi to him. His aunt was very persistent that she was going to try everything she could do to get him on stage. And she happened to wait for just the right moment. The crowd got quiet and she hollered, "Wyatt loves you." And that's when Blake Shelton acknowledged the signs.
Wow. That's incredible. Yeah, I woke up Sunday morning, Harley, and people were tagging me in this video. On my radio show, I talk a lot about Ole Red and Tishomingo and have a relationship with, the management there, and talking about their specials. And of course, Blake knows that we do see, stuff happening on KD Country. So people were just like, Zach, you got to do whatever you can to make sure that he sees this video. But I mean, what I could do after that, I couldn't be able to pull Wyatt up on stage to sing God's Country with Blake. So were you in attendance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So was your heart just like pounding like crazy going, oh, this is about to happen?
Yes, I was in shock, and when he walked over and said, "How are we gonna do this?" and so I was like, "However you want to do it."
I'm telling you, Blake cracks me up because he's such a country boy. He's like, "How are we gonna do this? Let's happen. Let's get on up here." It just, I just absolutely love it. So y'all lift him up on stage. And then at that point, you're probably trying to pull the phones out and have everything out. And oh my goodness. So what's going on in your mind when Wyatt's up there on stage with Blake?
I mean, I was just in awe of the situation. I mean, I couldn't believe that he got to do something that he's been dreaming of doing and just sing with Blake Shelton. He wants to talk to Blake Shelton. I mean, all the time. So it was amazing.
Yeah, it was the sweetest thing ever. All right, so what I'm going to do, Harley, is I'm going to try to play some of this video. You were kind enough to send it to me so that way I could share with the KD Country listeners. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us off the stage here, and I'm going to play part of this video. And so that way everybody on this broadcast right now can see it. And I'll be removing you, Harley, so hang on one second. And
how are we going to do this? Can you get up here or no? Can you stand up there? Yeah. What's your name?
Wyatt.
Well, I'm half deaf, just so you know. So, on his note here, let me reread the first part. It says, your smallest, biggest fan from Lake Texoma, 6 years old, waiting on a heart transplant. I think y'all are having a bad day. Put that in perspective right there, man. And so, the next note that he has on here, he has to be to sing this song.
all right. That was awesome. And, the fact that, Blake is saying, you think you're having a bad day, that just kind of puts it in perspective. So the full video is up on our website, 931kmkt.com. You could check it out there. I did find it funny, though, that Wyatt gets on his knees and then and then Blake, who's like 6'18" or however tall he is. My goodness, gets on his knees, and it was great. So, are the tears just absolutely flowing during God's country?
Oh God, I don't cry very often, and I was definitely bawling.
Oh my goodness. All right, so what happened after that? So God's country's playing, Wyatt singing, Blake singing. So what took place after the song was over with?
I mean, he got back down and he was just beaming. He was just so excited, man. And then when the concert was over, it took us an hour to get out of the concert area because everybody wanted to stop and take a picture with Wyatt.
Yeah.
I mean, he just felt like on top of the world. He was famous.
Yeah, so everybody wanted to make sure, all the Katy Country listeners wanted to make sure that I made sure that Blake saw this video, and we didn't need any help from me because Blake absolutely was aware of this video. Did you see what he tweeted out?
Yes, somebody shared it with me. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was incredible what Blake sent out about that video, and so that is such a cool story. And of course, it happened right here in our neck of the woods. And everybody in the country music industry right now is talking about this story. How cool is that? Wyatt is in the country music news right now. It could be in North Dakota and people are talking about Wyatt.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is absolutely awesome. All right, so what's next? What's next here, Harley? What do you maybe we can get another meeting with Blake and Wyatt. That would be pretty cool. He owns the place. He's right here in Texoma all the time. He may even actually see this interview or something. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be really cool.
We'll get you like a bull burger at Ole Red or whatever. Oh man, that is great. All right, well, Harley, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's like the sweetest story ever. And thank you so much for allowing us to share it on Katy Country. I know that all these listeners and stuff, you should go and read the comments. It's just, they're so encouraging. And I know there's a lot of people out there rooting for Wyatt. Now, do you have like a Facebook page for the whole kind of journey of what Wyatt's going through?
Yes, it's under Wyatt Strong. It's a Facebook group that I have on there, and I try to keep everybody as up to date as possible.
Okay. If you don't mind, share that page with me on Facebook so that way I can put that out there. And Wyatt doesn't realize this probably, but he has millions of country music fans now that are rooting for him to get himself a heart transplant. So, Harley, thank you so much for coming on. I know that you were concerned about doing this with me, but you did a fantastic job. Even better.
Thank you.
Even better than I could possibly do. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. And like I said, the full video that Harley provided for us is up on our website, 931kmkt.com. You can check it out there. And then also, of course, we got it on Instagram and Twitter and all that. Just a beautiful story. And it's amazing. So hey, Harley, I got to make sure that I meet Wyatt soon. I got a 6-year-old as well. So, play dates and all that.
Oh, definitely.
We all got a mutual interest, which is country music and Blake Shelton. So,
right.
Oh, man. All right, Harley. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.